Hi guys, and welcome to Java tutorial of a stock management system developed using Microsoft Access. So let me take you guys straight to the invoice area. Whatever data you enter in there is actually displayed right in here. So we can see the details of Captain Jerry. Okay, and that's it right there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click on that and let's enter other customers details. Let's say it's ordering 42, and in here let's enter the name of this guy, and his name is Captain Alan. Alan B. Moore. There. Okay, so in here let's just call that maybe London School of Flying. There we go. Okay, it's not on sales, and item is 10 there, and here discount, let's give him about 20. VAT, yes, and does have a debit card and a Visa card. All we just need to do now is to click on total. There we go. As you can see, this message box is telling us that our Captain Alabama details is now added onto the database. Okay, let's have a quick look at the database before we go any further. Then we'll click on the database, and right here those are the details of Captain Alan and that of Captain Jerry. So what I'm going to do right now, guys, I'm going to take you guys to Java development environment. I will put one of these together, and let's start a new project, guys. I'm going to go straight to file. Let's click on new project, and in here you want to select Java with Ant, and the project should be Java application. Click on next, and in there just give it a name. I'm going to call it Java underscore stock. Okay, Java underscore stocks with an S. You see where we have create main class? I'm going to uncheck that and click on finish. There we go. And now let's look for Java stocks. Right here, that's Java stocks. Right click on it. Let's go to new, and let's select Java form right here. Click on Java form and give your project a name. I'm just going to call it Java stock, and the class name is Java stock, the project is Java stock, and here the package, I'm just going to call it Java stock as well, and click on finish. There we go. That's my application interface ready. Now right click on the form itself, and let's go to set layout, change that to absolute layout. Now right click on the form again, select properties. Inside the properties I'm going to go to codes. In here, the codes, design size, I'm going to make that 1400 by, let's go for maybe 800. There, and where we have generate center, make sure it's checked. Close that. There we go. Now the next thing we want to do is let's go straight to the palette here, and we now need a tab control. So let's add tab pane. So click on that, and I'm just going to bring it here. There we go. You might not be able to see the tab, so I'm just going to drag it across. Something like that. So now for you to be able to see the tab itself, I'm going to go back to the panel here, and now I'm going to select inside this palette, I'm going to select a panel. Just bring the panel, just peg it right there. Now you have your first tab. Okay, let's add another tab. Back to the panel again, or back to the palette, grab another panel, just drag it right there on the side of it. Do that properly. There we go. Now I have two tabs. Okay, so I'm going to right click or just select the editor, and I'm just going to change the name of that to stock control. There we go. For number 2, click on that and let's change that to maybe invoice details, something like that. There we go. Now I have my two tabs in place. And for each of the tab, I'm just going to right click on it and let's select set layout. Make sure it's absolute layout. Repeat the same thing for the other one and make sure it's absolute layout. Okay, so what I'm going to now do is I'm going to go back to the palette. Inside the palette I need a label. Drop a label there. Then I also need a combo box. Just drop it right there. I'm going to need text area, text field, okay. Then I will also need text area. But before that, let's grab hold of this panel, bring it right here. So I'm just going to drag it out much. In fact, I might as well just let's go back to the properties of that very panel. I'm going to go to the border and let's change the border to make that 4. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to just grab hold of all of these components and dump it in there. But if you notice the text field that I just dumped in there, you can see the lines just because I have not converted it to absolute layout. So let's come back in here. Let's right click on it and let's select set layout and make that absolute layout, which means I can move the text anywhere I want. Now that is absolute layout, let's grab all of these two components here. Let's place them inside and just drag it that much. Let's replace this or reposition that properly and just drag this way down. Okay, one more thing we need to do is go back to the palette and grab hold of another panel. Just drag it that much. And I'm going to change the border style to 4 as well. Okay, select line border, change that to 4. Click on OK. And guess what? Right click, come into settings or set layout, change it to absolute layout as well. That is good. Alright, we need just one more. Now I think we're going to need 2 more. Okay, we can just copy this. Right click, let's say copy. And I'm going to paste that in there. So I have one here that I will use for my button. I'm also going to need another one. Paste. I think that's here. Very good. I'm going to use that for the payment and so on. Alright, that's good. And bring this in for the payment. Okay, we can always make some more changes to it as we go along. Now, come in here, you see the label. Let's increase the size of that label to something much more readable. And my text box, I actually needed a text box as well. Text. Okay, let's go for one text field here, and here we're going to need text area there. Okay, let's increase this. Then we take it from there. These 3 components go straight to the properties. Let's change the size to something much more readable. I'm going to make that maybe about 20 for now. I said 20. Bold. There. I think that 20 kind of look a bit small. Let's change it to maybe 24. Okay, that is good. Now let's move this here. So this very one, I'm going to change the details of this to product ID. All of these names are going to be from the database. So I do have the database. I will include it on the description area. You can just download the database for free. It's an access database. Okay, let's open the database. Right here is the database. Right click on it, go to design view, and those are the names that I'm following. The next one is going to be product name, description, and so on. So let's come in here. So I'm going to right click on this, or just Control C, copy, Control V, paste here, and change this one to product name. Okay, so let's just copy some more, paste, drag it down, paste another one. We have 6 now. Another one, that's 8, and 2 more. There. Okay, let's change the name of this one to description. And this is going to be stock level. Then we have reorder level. Out of stock. Number of order. Or number of stock. Then here we call this one stock, let's say cost. Then this one is going to be known as reorder. Reorder date, and finally action. Okay. Now I have my labels in place. I'm just going to grab hold of one of those labels. So let's copy this one, Control C, Control V, paste, and place that here. We now want to change the appearance of that. Go back to the properties, and where we have border, let's look for border. There we go. Click on border, select the line border, and I'm going to make that, let's say, about 3 there. Get rid of the text content in there, and just that's it. And the variable name for this is going to be product name. Right click on it, change variable name. That will be JLBL product name. Very good. This one up here, let's change that to variable name is going to be JCMB product ID. Brilliant. Now let's copy this one, because we're going to need a couple of these. Control C, Control V. And this will be the product name. I thought as much. Okay, so bring this down, move this back up. Now let's copy this very one, copy, paste, copy, paste. And the text box, this should be here really. Now let's copy just one, paste. Okay, we need just two more. Copy, paste. There we go. You can select it all and just increase the size a little bit, or the width a little bit. Okay, let's hope that'll be okay, else we're gonna have to change it. Now this one is going to be known as JLBL description. Then we have JLBL stock level, one word. JLBL reorder level. That's good. And this as a text field. Let's change the border style of that text field as well. There should be something. Yeah, there we go. Let's make it about 3 as well. Black. And this one too. I should change that. Let's see the properties. Yes, okay, there is border in there. Select line border, make that 3. There we go. Get rid of the text content in here and change the variable names. JTXT. That will be out of stock. No, that should be number of order. Number of order. Yeah. So which means this one is wrong. This should be called number of order. Very good. So this should be right here. Okay, and this one will be out of stock. JLBL out of stock. And this is JLBL cost. JLBL reorder date. And this is action, JLBL action. So I suppose you guys get the whole idea. So I'm going to just design the upper part of it. So let's come in here, copy. Let's copy this first, Control C and Control V. Control V again, bring that here, Control V, Control V, Control V. And we need 4 here. Okay. copy paste. Yeah, then we need 3 here as well. Alright, looking good there. And this is going to be for my address. Now here I need 4 of those, but I don't want to grab all of any of these. Let's copy one of these, Control C, paste, and let's change it to round border. Make that 3. There we go. Then we can then copy it around for the others. Get rid of the text content. Drag it that much. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. Alright. And I'm going to need 2 up here. Copy 2, copy, and paste it right here. Then here we need just 1. Copy and paste. Okay. Okay, so let's do one thing. Just move this down a little bit more. I want to copy this. Control C. And we don't have to paste it in here. Control V, paste. Let's see. Control C, Control V. Okay, just drag it down. Copy that, Control C. And Control V. And one more, Control V. Bring it down. Okay, we're gonna have to make a room for everything, or make room for everything, so that the layout will be okay. Alright, so we need 1 here. Copy this, Control C and Control V, and bring that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tidy up the look of everything. But before then, we need 3 here. 1, 2, and 3. Copy that. Control C, Control V. And just move it here. Okay, so let's just tidy up, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. But before then, here we're gonna need some buttons here though. Just drag this down much, bring it down a little bit. We need 3 labels, or no, 3. Yeah, 3 labels. Control C and Control V. So it's not going to be those ones, but the ones below, because of the names. This one, they already have their own variable name. So to be sure, I'm going to just right click on one, and there. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, that is the wrong one. Let's see this one. Alright then, I'm going to move these ones back up there and bring the 1, 2, and 3 down. So, like I said, I will have to tidy up here. Let's see. Okay, those are the right ones. Okay, I need 3 labels as well. Control C, copy, and Control V. Drag them down. So this is going to be tax. This will be, let's say, subtotal. And this is going to be total. Okay, so I need 3 buttons. Either arrange it like this or do something about it. Okay, so we need 3 buttons. Come right here, grab hold of this very button here, dump it right here. We have 1. So change the font of these two, something much more readable. Make it 36 bold. Change that to that's going to be total. Control C, Control V. Just another one there. Alright, this is going to be exit. Variable name will be btn exit, jbtn exit. And this is going to be reset. Variable name jbtn reset. This is total. I'll become jbtn total. Alright. So you can see how messy it all looks now. So I'm going to save it, just run it before I go about improving the appearance of the project. Alright guys, this is how it's looking. I just need to tidy up and I'll get back to you guys. And I will also give all of these ones a name, just like I did here. So let's tidy up. As order ID. Okay, let's speed that up now. Okay guys, I think I've finished with the naming. So let's run it and just see how that looks like. So let's click on run once the compiler is ready. Click on run. There we go. That is how it's looking right now. Okay, but right here I still need to add some table or a table in here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit out now and let's go to this tab here, and I want to add a table to that very tab. Just dump the table right there. I'm going to right click on the properties of this table, just right click and just select table, and in here you see the column and that's the rows. So we want to add more columns and change all of these details, the titles and so on. Okay, but I'm not going to be naming the table with just anyhow name. I have a database and I will actually include a link. That is the database right there. So let's double click on that very database and you guys will see all of the fields on that database. Right click on it, design view. Those are the names that I intend to use for my tables. So we'll come in here. That is going to be ID, product ID, and I'm going to change this to string. Repeat the same thing for this. That one is going to be product. That will be product name. The next one is going to be description, and the type is strings. All of the type I'm going to make sure they are strings anyway. So I have 29 in total. So that description Then here we have stock level. Okay, then I'm going to add more. Let's insert more, and this is going to be the order level. There. And the next one is out of stock. Alright. Then I'm going to have number of order. There we go. In total it's going to be 28, so I may have to just kind of like speed up the whole process. All I'm doing is just entering all of these values that I have in here. Okay, so this, like I said, this database is going to be made available on my system for you guys to have a look at. Alright, so the next one is going to be the cost. So just enter cost in here and followed by. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys once it's done. Alright guys, and that is my table. So it's all completed now. In total, like I said, is 29. Okay, now that the table is completed, let's go back to the invoice details. Okay, right here inside the invoice details, I'm going to select this. See all of this combo box, I need to actually populate them. So let's go to the properties of this very combo box. And right here, you see where we have model. Click on these three dots. Okay, and I'm going to change that. So the first one, I'm just going to enter select product ID and followed by the following, and below I'm going to enter the following. That is that sorted. Now let's come in here, select order, and in here, and that is going to be select order ID, say order ID, and enter as follows. And that's order ID taken care of. So let's copy that, click on next, and select this customer ID. Go to model, click on model, customer ID, select customer ID, let's just say cost ID, and underneath here we enter as follows for customer ID. Click on OK. Alright, we have a couple more. Let's come in here. That will be sales or no sales. Let's just say select sales. Let's say sales. So one is going to be on sales and the other is going to be no sales. There, that's taken care of. And in here, discount, click on that. So let's say select discount, and the discount starts from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, that would do. Okay, this count is taken care of. Now let's take care of these three. VAT. So let's say select VAT. So we say no VAT. Yes, VAT. $65 plus. No VAT. Okay. Now click on OK. Now the last one here is account type. So come back to model, just type in select account type. And right here, those are the account type. Click on OK. The next one on the next and the last one. So let's come back in here. Model. That one is select payment method. Okay, so the payment method will be, let's say, cash, Visa, card, MasterCard, or debit card. There we go. Alright, one other thing I'm going to do with all of these combo box, some of the text seems to be very large, so I'm going to sort of like reduce the size of it to something a little bit more manageable. We can make that maybe about 22 or 20. That's fine. 20 is fine. Okay, that's alright. Now the next thing I want to do is I need to be able to connect this my database to the system. So let's close that. I'm going to go straight in here and I will open up. First of all, let me open up my control panel. Inside the control panel, what you need is the administrative tool. If you don't have your administrative tool, sometimes it might be in category format. Just drop this down and change it to large icon. Once the large icon is selected, this is what you see. That's the layout. Double click on administrative tools. There we go. And in here, right here, there's two different types there. One is 64-bit and the other one is 32 bits. Depend on your own operating system. Mine is 64-bit, so I'm going to double click on that. There we go. Now, the driver that I need, that's the driver that I need. This very one. But to be able to add my database, I'm going to go to System DSN. Click on System.dsn. The database that I'm looking for is called iStocks. Click on Add. And let's first of all select the driver for that very database. That is it right there. Click on Finish. Now, give the database a name. I will call it iStocks with an S. Now, you see where we have data select right here. Click on the select. And now I need to browse to where I have my database. So double click on this C drive so that you can locate wherever that might be. Mine is going to be inside a document. And let's scroll right down. I should be able to see my document in there. So it depends on where you save your database though. So I'm going to scroll right down, and that is iStock with an S. Click on that and click on OK. And that's it. My database is linked. And then click on OK again. And click on OK. There. If you want to check if it's there, you can just do that again. Go back in here, and that's your database right there. Alright, we can now close this. We don't need that anymore. And close the control panel as well. Alright, back in our editor, I'm now going to click on the project tab here. and look for the name of your project, and that's my project. It's called Java Stocks. So make sure you drop it down, and you then need the library. Look at the library there. Right click on the library. What you now need is known as the jar files, so that the connectivity will take effect. Click on the jar file, and right there you need the following files. Okay, you need those files: the common login, hs, q, l, db, jack asset, rs2, xml, you can asset. You need all of those files. So I'm going to click on open, so you can always search for those files online. So have a good look at them. Now I'm going to select it all. Click on open, and those are the files on my system now. That's good. So now let's go to my code view. I need to add some or import some libraries. So right here, right underneath here, I'm going to import the following libraries. There we go. Those are the libraries that I need. So take a good look at those libraries. So make sure those files or those libraries are imported the way they are. Now I'm going to scroll down. See right underneath my public class, the name of my project. You can see extension and so on. So right underneath, I'm going to now create a double array, and that array I'm just going to call it product. Yeah, that's fine, product. And this product is going to be equals new double, and just give it a size. I'm going to be using that for my calculations. Now the next thing is, let's initialize my connections. So I'm going to say connection equals con. There. Now the next one is going to be my, let's say, prepared statements. So with the prepared statement, I'm just going to call it PST. And let's go for result. Result set, I will just call that RS. There we go. I'm also going to declare, let's declare some integer variables. Yeah, I'm going to need those. Let's say I, Q, and QS. There, those are the variables that I need. And the next thing I want to now do is I'm now going to create a function right under these initialized components. So my function, let me just add a line in here first where my function will be. Okay, that's for my function. I'm going to copy that line. I just want to know where my function is. There we go. So let's enter functions in there. I might use one or two. Okay, now the very first one, I'm going to call that public. Let's say void, because it's not going to return anything. And we just say ms access stock db. Okay, and I'm now going to say these parentheses, will just enter the following argument in their table. That is going to be JTable1. There. And come right down here enter statement block. Right inside the statement block, I'm going to also enter try catch statement. This try catch will help me in case if there's any error. So let's come down here, this catch, let's enter the catch statement there. Let's say catch exception ex. Whatever my exception ex statement is going to be, so I can just enter J option plain dot show, let's say dot show message dialog. Let's see, there should be message dialog in there. There we go. Double click on that. Dot show message dialog, and let's just say it's going to be none, and that is it. So that should handle whatever error that I might run into. Okay, now inside the try itself, let's go for the connection now. Let's say class dot for name, and that is going to be net dot on as you can assets dot jdbc dot you can assets. Yep, I have to make sure I get the spelling right. Driver, let's make sure it is correct. Alright, so I've got one of my drivers there. Now the next thing is I'm going to now say my connector, which is the con, that will be equals drive or driver manager dot get components. And what component are you getting? That is going to be JDBC column you can access. Grab all of this, just paste it here. Forward slash, no, column forward slash. Now I now need to get the location of my database, so let's open it up, and here is my database right there, this very one. Make sure it is selected. You can then hold on to the shift key, right click on it, then you can copy the part. Look, okay, copy part, that's it. I'm now going to come down here. Yeah, let's take it down. And just paste it right there. That is the part. So I might as well just add plus. And you see I have an error there. So what I then need to do is, you see the backslash, I'm going to make it double backslash. Make sure all of them are double backslash. And the end of it, enter semicolon. That is it. You just connected your database. Now that's not finished yet. Now let's come down here and say statement st, that is equals connect dot create statement. Just grab all of it there, and let's say string query, that will be equals, let's use that to for the SQL statement, equals select all from iStocks. iStocks is the name of my database. Remember that. You can call your database whatever you like. And I'm going to now say RT and that is the result set rt. That will be equals st dot. We want you to execute query right there. Yeah. Execute query, and inside the parentheses we have the query there. End that with a semicolon here. Do that again. That's it. And right underneath now, and I want to add everything. Whatever I have on my database, I want to be able to display it on my table. So I'm going to say JTable1 here. I believe that's the name of my table. Dot set mode. And what I was setting, that's going to be DB utilities dot result set to table mode. And what is that table? Is RT. Very good. That's good. Okay, I'm going to try this out with the aid of this function name and this table name that I made up. I'm going to go into, let's go straight back into the form design, and I want to right click and select Windows Action, Window Activates. Now in there I'm going to paste that, and let's get rid of all of this. My table is called the original name is table1 but lowercase j. That is the name of my table, and you end up with semicolon here. Very good, no more error. Okay, I'm going to save that and let's run and see if it works fine. All the data that I have inside the record that I have inside this database should be displayed. Okay, the database is coming up. I'm talking about all the records I have in there, so I'm going to close that, else it's not going to work. So let's compile and we then run it and see. Okay, now it's finished compiling. Click on run. If it works fine, I should be able to see all of those data right inside the table. There we go. Look at that. That is brilliant. Very good. All right. This should have been somewhere here at the far end here, because that's the ID. All right, that's fine. It's working anyway. Now the next thing I want to do is let's take care of this exit and reset. Those are simple, so we just take care of those. So back into design view, right click on the button for exit action and action perform right there. Okay, right here, just right above this very button, let's say private. Just say JFrame, calling the object, and that is going to be known as frame. I can now come in here now inside the button procedural area itself, and I'll just say JFrame. That is going to be equals new JFrame, and we give it the alias of exit. There we go. Now I'm going to use an if statement. If j option plain dot, let's go for show confirm dialog, and if that is going to be frame, we can say something like, do you want to exit? That's my second argument actually. Then the next argument, I can just make that let's say that is going to be stock control. Very good. Now the next argument I'm going to call that J option plain. Let's say dot yes or no option. Yeah, just grab all of that. Yeah, I might as well just go to the next line for this. Okay, now the last argument, that one is going to be, let's say equals. I'm going to get rid of this, and come right out here, and I'm going to say equals J option, which is the dot yes no option, enter semicolon. There. Okay, in here I've just say system dot exit, and that will be 0. And that's it. That should take care of the exits. Okay, you must create just a private method there for it though. So I'm going to compile. Let's run it and see how the exit is going to respond. Click on run. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm just going to click on run, and we'll take it from there. There we go. So let's click on exit. No. Exit. Yes. That's very good. Alright, the exit is working, and I need to now take care of the resets and total, and we'll come back to the third part of this tutorial. For the reset, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a function so that I can also use that on the form as well, and to reset everything. So let's come here. You see right underneath where I have my very first function, right here, I'm going to copy this, and our function is going to be for the reset. Paste that in there, and let's just get this properly indented. And yeah, I'm just going to call it reset function. Okay, so the function, let's copy all of that. Yeah, I'm going to add try catch as well. Why not? Paste that in there and just change this to reset stock. There. And grab hold of all of these, paste it right underneath there. There we go. I don't need this. Get rid of those. They're not required in the parentheses. Now, to start with the reset, I'm going to start with, let's say, JLBL sub. I think that's how I wrote it. Subtotal dot set text. And that is no. There we go. The very first one is there. So I'm going to copy this. Now the next one is JLBL tax. Paste. And JLBL total. Paste. Then JTXT first name, JTXT surname, paste. Guess you get the whole idea. I'm just going to speed that up and get back to you guys shortly. Okay guys, I'm done with the reset function, so let's take it down, have a good look at it. Start with a try catch. There we go. And you see with the combo box, I just call that dot set selected item, so the selected item will default to 0 and the 0 will be the one right in front of it. Have a look at that. So let me open one of these for you guys. Go straight to the properties, select model. There we go. This is the index 0. Okay, so when I run the system or when I click on reset, you will always have your index 0 there. Alright, that's fine. Now back to the code. We now need to call this very function. I'm going to call it right on the form load, and I will also call it on this button. So right click on this button, event action perform, and call the reset function there. Now I need to call it on form load. There we go. That is the form window activate. Space that in there as well. To get to the form window activate, all you need to do is come straight to the form itself, right click on it, event window, and form activate. That is it right there. So if I run it now, save that and compile and run. Okay, let's click on run. There we go. Now if I select these, just change them to whatever I want. Right here. Now decision time, click on the reset button. They should all default back to the first index. See that? So that's fine, and at the same time all these will be cleared. Let's say we have something in here. Okay, just click on reset. Oh, this is not cleared, so that should have been cleared. Let's see, there's something here. Okay, so I'm missing out this, so let's find out the name of that. Let's see, can we clear this as well? Alright, that's fine, but we need to change the fonts. Okay, that's good. It's good to know. Exit out, yes. Come back in here, select this, right click, and what is your name? That's the name there. Okay, grab all of that, and let's go straight into, but before that, let's go into this property and change this font size to something readable. Make that bold. Let's say about 24. Right. No, that's too much. Maybe 18. Okay. Now, let's go to the function reset. Functions reset is right up here somewhere. There we go. So I'm going to add the missing one. And just copy this, paste it right here. And that is that taken care of. That's good. So what else do we need? Let's save that. Now I need to take care of this very combo box there. You see this one? So whenever we select this combo box, I think it's going to be action perform as well. So the event we're using is going to be action perform. There we go. And right in here, get rid of that. I'm going to start by using an if statement. If the selection made, okay, let's grab all of these. If jtxt no, JCMB product. Let's say dot get selected item dot equals, let's see if it's equals, let's see if it's equals the first value that I have in there, that is meant to be, let's see, the first value is select product ID. Okay, if it's equals select product ID, in that case I want you to call the reset function, clear everything. So that's the very first one taken care of. Now I'm going to copy this, paste it right here. The second one now, if the selected value is equals, let's come in here, open that up again. Where is model? Right there. That's the name or the number. Make sure, let's copy all of those numbers. I'm going to need them all. Copy it all, click on OK, back into our codes, and right here, those are the numbers. So grab all of the first one, paste it right in here, there, and this other one, just comment them out. Let's comment, I think that's comment here, that's fine. Okay, if the first one is this, and in that case I want J LBL cost dot set text, and that is going to be equals, let's enter the following value. There we go. That's the very first one. Then the next one is JLBL out of stock dot set text, let's say out of stock, we start ordering when we get to 5. Now the next one is JLBL restore restore label, I think that's what it's called, dot text, and that is going to be let's say about 30. Let's say 30. It's a T missing here. Next, let's say JLBL stock level dot set text, and that is, let's say about 200 or 250. Yeah, 250, why not? There we go, and so on, guys. So that is the very first one. Well, let's go for description. Yeah, okay, that's JLBL description the text So in this case, let's say this is going to be white rice, something like that. White grain. Okay. Alright, that is description. What about product name? JLBL product name dot text. I think maybe this is uppercase. Alright, I'm correct, that's uppercase. Paste that in there and just change this one to rice. Okay, change that to rice. Then we have, undo that. We have JLBL. That will be item ordered. The text and that is going to be rice as well. Okay, paste that there. Alright, so what about JLBL? Copy this, just speed that up a little bit. JLBL number of item there, and JLBL number of item, that is going to be, let's see, about 30. Let's see, I think I've got the name wrong here. Maybe this is uppercase. Yeah, that's correct. Now JTXT, the product, no, number of order, number of order dot, that should be a request because we already have number of order. Okay, let's see what number of order is called. Come right to the design, number of order, right click, do that again, right click, and that is it. Okay, copy that, come right down here. Let's see what was the error about. Okay, and in that case this is going to be dot. I'd like it to set focus. That's request focus. There we go. So that's the very first one taken care of. So I can just copy this now, copy all of this, paste it right underneath here, and just change things around. Grab hold of this value in there, paste it right here. That's for number 2. Okay, now you can change whatever you want to change. Let's say number of stock here is about 350. Let's say is beans. Let's just say maybe brown beans, something like that. And this is going to be beans. And this, we can make that about 40. And the value in here All right, we're getting somewhere. That's the second one taken care of. So all I'm just doing is just changing the names and so on. So I'm going to speed up the whole process now. Okay, this is how it's looking now. I'll just speed that up. Look at it. And let's just change the value that I have in there. That is it. So let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. Alright, so click on, you see that, whatever you select, there we go. So that is fine. So let's use that to take care of the total. Okay guys, in the case of the total, what I want to do is when you enter whatever value you want this subtracted from this and the remainder to appear here, and all the other calculations should appear here. So let's start by exiting out, and let's go into the button here, select event, action, perform, and let's select total right there. Now I'm going to make use of the array that I created earlier, but before then let's declare some local variable. I'm going to call that itax and discount, because I'm going to enter details of discount in there as well. Now product array number 0. So if you're wondering where is this array from, if you guys can still recall, right up here, that is it. That's the array I'm now using. So go back down there. So array 0, that will be equals, let's say double dot, I would like you to pass as follows. And what are we passing? You're actually passing whatever we have inside J, txt, number of order dot, I think that's not how it's written, let's see, yeah, that's correct, dot get text. That is the method for that. And we repeat exactly the same thing for the next one, and that one is called stock level. I believe, let's come down here and just see stock level. There we go. Right click, yeah, stock level. Back in our code and just change this to stock level, and this one will become 1. There we go. So whatever value we have in both, they are now stored in those arrays. Now let's come down here and say create another double variable. I'm going to call that total. Yeah, or we can just place total in here or here, whatever. Okay, let's say total, C total, and that is going to be equals, subtract this from 0. There. So C total now have the value or the remainder of whatever we have. So now let's say string cost of ID, and that is going to be equals string value. Okay, let's say string dot value of C total. So that's actually the remainder. Let's change this to remainder. Yeah, remainder. Okay, and end it like that instead of C value. Remainder, that's much better. So this remainder, I'm now going to assign it to J LBL remainder. Let's say number remainder or item remainder. Item remainder is much better. Item remainder. Very good. So grab hold of item remainder and just say dot set text, and that is going to be item remainder. There we go. The very first one is taken care of. If I run it now, you will see what I'm talking about. So let's run that and see. Okay, but before I run it, if you notice, I converted it back to string here because each of these components only accepts string character, and here it has to be converted to double because it's string character. String converted to double. Okay, so let's run it. Click on run. Now make a selection, whatever you want. Stock level here is 100. So if we come in here, let's say we want 34, we want the remainder to display. There we go, look at that. Okay, so that's the whole idea. And just change it to whatever you want. There. Okay, so that is fine. Now let's take care of the others. But now I want to take care of the total. So the total, I'm going to say object selected item. Let's use that. So come right down here and say, I can just call that calculate total. Alright, so let's settle for object select item, selected item, that's going to be equals J CMB discount. I think that is correct. Dot get selected item. Straight away. So if you select 2 or whatever or 0, that is selected in here. Well, let's see, why do we have an error? That should be selected item. One word. So selected the discount, yeah, that is it. Let's say discount now is going to be equals, let's say we get the double, paste that here, and that is going to be selected item dot to string. Selected item dot to string. Come on. There we go. Now selected item is converted back to string and is stored in here. Now let's grab hold of two of my arrays. I'm going to change that. I'm just copying that. This will be array number 2, number 3. Now we now need the number of order, which we already have. Then we also need the cost. So that will be J LBL cost. So you will get those. Once we get those, we now need the discount, this very discount, to store whatever we have in here. Or we can just create another one, but I can use this, it's no problem. So come right down here. Let's say discount, that will be equals this product, and we divide it by discount as well. Okay, let's divide by 100 first. But what are we dividing? We're dividing this. Put that in their own bracket. And you multiply, come back in here, paste, and you multiply that by 3. There we go. There. So this should give us the discount. Okay, we've been able to work out the discount based on whatever selection made. Okay, so now let's come down here and say array number 4, and that is going to be equals these two here minus the discount. Just grab all of everything and just modify, paste. This should be 4. Okay, these two together, then we minus the discount. Now get rid of this. Now we know the discount. So array number 4, the discount that we get is right in here. We minus it from here. Okay, so let's now say, in our case, we now want to say string subtotal, that is going to be equals string dot value of, that should be array number 4. Paste that in there, close that. So we now have something for subtotal. Now I need to add this straight into subtotal. Subtotal, let's say subtotal cost. So this will go into subtotal. So now let's come down here and say JLBL subtotal dot set text, and that is going to be equals subtotal cost. Very good. One down. Okay, let's try this out and make sure this subtotal works with whatever discount we have. So let's go back in here and just click on run, and here select, let's enter whatever value in there and make sure discount, we select our discount, no discount, and right here, there we go. That's the cost. Supposing make it 25% there. Okay, as you guys can see, if I have a value in here and I click on total, yes, I'll be able to get something. But supposing I don't have anything in there, nothing is going to happen. Let me demonstrate that one more time. In here I select an item and I enter what I want in there. And if I click on total, nothing happens because the discount has no value. So what I'm going to do is, instead of making this select discount my index 0, I'm going to change that. Let's come in here So that is just an error that I spotted. So grab all of the discount, come right here and just get rid of that entirely. So the default value will be 0 for me. That's fine. So when I run it now, even if you don't select anything, the default value is 0, so we will still get something out of it. Okay. Alright, so it's working fine now. There we go. Now, the next thing that I want to do is, as you can see, subtotal is taken care of. I want to take care of tax, total, and then also take care of the pound sign on them. So let's go back in here, go back into total, and right underneath here I'm going to take care of the tax. So let's say the tax rate is approximately 7.5. So let's start by calling one of my array. So this one is going to be 5. I have 10, so I'm calling 5 now, and I say 5, that is equals to array number 4. Now I want to multiply that by 7.5, and then let's divide by 100 there. But let's do this. I want to put this in brackets and here as well. Okay, so we now need string character to store this value. So I'm going to say, let's copy all of this, just paste it in there and change it around. Paste that there. So this will become tax. So we can call that item tax. An item tax, we're going to come right in here. And this is going to become LBL tax. And here that will become 5. There we go. So I've just taken care of my tax now. So let's save that and try it out. Once it runs the way we want, we just need to convert the whole lot to total as well. So let's run it and see. Select whatever, enter a value, and hit on total. Now we have tax, so we now need to be able to add this and this together to give us the total. Alright, that's working fine. Now for the total, all we need to do is, I'm going to copy all of this anyway. Or, okay, that's alright. No big deal, I'll change it around. Alright, and now change this array to 6, and this is going to be, I'm going to be adding 2 together, this plus the other one, and that is number 5 here. Let's put a plus sign here, get rid of this, divide by 100. Okay, so array number 6, this one comes in here. And I just need to change the name of these to something like, let's say total calls. And the total calls will now come right in here. Paste that in here. And change this to total. There we go. So I've just finished taking care of my total. So let's compile and run. Click on run. Select an item, enter a value, hit on total. There we go. See that, guys? Alright, so we now need to just add pound sign. So let's exit out. Okay, so everything, tax, total and so on, they work fine now, as you guys can see. So what I just want now is to be able to add the pound sign. So to do that, I'm going to have to go back to my codes. I'm going to come right underneath here. So let's say convert to pound sign. Now what do I want to convert to pound sign? I'm going to grab hold of, let's say I have array number 7, and as for my array number 7, I'd like it to take in the following. So let's copy something here. Yeah, I can just grab hold of this to speed up things. Right there. So that's going to be equals whatever we have inside the tax. Where is tax? Yeah, right there. Let's grab all of that. Come right down here, paste that inside in there, and just change this to get. So that becomes get. Okay. Now we have to find a way to reassign it back to tax itself. So to do that, I'm going to need string character. Yeah, get hold of all of these, come right down here, paste, and we're going to have to change this one to format. And what are we formatting to string? That's going to be array number 7. And now as for array number 7, we need to find a way to convert it to pound sign. But here, let's change this one first. This one is giving me error because it's supposed to be for, that was supposed to be for the total there. So I'm going to change that to tax to pounds, something like that. Okay, tax to pounds. That is the name of that string. Now why do I have this? Okay, now to convert it to pound sign, enter the pound sign and percent dot to 2 decimal place comma, and that's it. I've been able to convert the tax. Now I need to assign everything back to the tax. So to do that, now let's grab hold of this, paste, and change this to set. And in here we now need to grab hold of this tax and just paste it right in there with semicolon. That is the tax successfully taken care of. That's good. Let's see if we can do the same thing for subtotal and total. So this is going to be for the sub, so we change this to 8. This one will be 9. This is 8, 9 here. Okay, let's change our details. So this one is going to be sub total, subtotal to pounds. So grab hold of this, paste it right in here. Now we need to change this to subtotal. Subtotal. Okay, so this one is sorted. Very good. Now this one is going to be total to pound. Total to pounds. And here, this is going to be total. And here becomes total as well. Okay, that looks all right. So but this one is not all right. That should have been subtotal. There we go. So what will happen is if I run it, all of this should, the final result should generate pound sign. This one is invalid, so let's correct that. Paste that in here. That's subtotal here and there, and tax there. Okay, let's compile and run. Alright, run. Select whatever item you want, enter how many you would like, hit on total. There we go. Look at that, guys. That's good. So I've just taken care of the pound sign. Now right here, let me show it to you guys. See, after all the selections are made and so on, based on the if there's discount or not, I want this to tell me the valid dates, the expired date, and so on. And there should be a date in here as well. And here the action will be based on whatever we have in here. So if the stock is less than maybe 5 or 2, then we need to reorder stock. So now let's do that inside total as well. Exit out, and right here inside the total, let me draw another line in here so that I don't mix it up. I will use an if statement to get that sorted. So let's say if. I think I do have something known as C total up there, so I can use that. Let's see. If I don't, then I think I do. Let's say if C total is less than 5, then we want the following. That's JLBL action dot set text, and that is going to be, let's say, order products. Yeah, let's say other product. That's good enough. That should be in a quote though. Now I'm now going to use a calendar. Let's say calendar creating an object here called timer. So that's going to be calendar dot get instance right there. Then let's say timer dot get time. Alright, so let's create another object here. I'm going to call that simple data format, simple date format, and I call that T date. That is going to be equals new simple date format, and it's going to take this following format, and let's say mm and the year. No, let's make that lowercase. 1 2 3 4. There we go, and semicolon. Okay, now that those ones are taken care of, let's add them into the following. JLBL date order dot set text. Alright, in there, what are we adding in there? That's going to be tdate dot format. Yeah, format. And what we're formatting is time dot get time. Okay, the first one is taken care of. Now the next one, so I can just copy this, copy, and that's going to be J LBL reorder date there. Okay, JLBL reorder date, get its own date too. What about JLBL valid from there. That is done. And we have JLBL date expires there. Of course, you can still improve on this if you want it, just to change the date and so on. But this just for you guys to know it's possible. You can do it. Now underneath here, I'm just going to put else. We want the following to happen. I'm just going to grab hold of everything in here, copy, come right down here, paste. And after that, all I just need to do is in here say no order required. There we go. So as for date expires in this case, let me change that to item valid, something like that. Item valid. There we go. That's it. So if we save that, try it out and compile, let's click on run. So hopefully if that works fine as expected, the next thing will just be for me to then create where we will assign all our data, or how to add everything into the database. So select one of these, click on total. There we go. Look at that. That is good. So all you just need to do is enter the customer's name and address and click on total. Everything should be added straight onto the database. And to do that, let's do this. I'm going to have to create a function. I'll call that function maybe stock update, something like that. Okay, if I'm going to call it stock update, I can just put that in here, stock update. So that's going to be the name of my function. It has an error because I haven't created that function yet. So let's copy that and go right up there and create my function. Right where I have all the other functions. So in here, I'm just going to call it stock update function, and underneath here, with another line. Right. And here we just say stock update. Let's go for public void stock update there. So now let's grab hold of this statement in here, everything here. Okay, using try catch. So start by saying try and just paste this one here. There we go. Okay, we can now start work with our functions. Okay, right inside the try catch, I'm going to first of all declare the following string variables. So the first one, I'm going to call it D1. So I'm going to have D2 up to D29. Okay, so speed that up. And right there, that's my variable from D1 up to D29, like I said earlier. Now the next thing is, let's assign value to each of these variables. So D1, that is going to be equals string dot value of, the very first value that I'm talking about is going to be this very one here. Okay, just copy that name back in here, paste, and that is going to be dot get selected item. There we go. I have my first variable taken care of. The next one is going to be D2. The case of D2, that is just going to be J LBL product name dot gets. There we go. Now the next one, D3, I can just copy this then. D3, case of D3, that is going to be description. There we go. And D4, that is going to be stock level, LBL stock level. Undo that. So undo everything, stock level. Okay, now we have D5, 6. Alright, so D6, that is out of stock. How did I name that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, out of stock. Yeah, copy that, paste that in here. Now we're going to take care of D5 first. D6 is out of stock. Okay, no problem, paste that in there. Now we take care of D5. Let's go for D5. Copy. And just paste this there for D5. As you guys can see, all I'm just doing now is assigning my component to each of these variables. So I'm just going to speed that up and show it to you guys once it's done. Okay guys, I've finished populating every single variable in there with the various components I have on board. So have a good look at the lines of codes. Okay, so I'm now going to, this try catch should be underneath here before the variables, or after the variables, right underneath here. Paste that there. Okay, so I'm now going to call my connectors. So let's say connection driver, which is right up here. I might as well just copy that as well. There we go. Grab hold of that with my database address, everything. And this one, I'm going to need that as well. Okay, let's just copy all of that, bring it down right here, paste, There we go. And now the next thing we now want to do is, I'm now going to call Q. Q is way up here. Remember the variable that I declared Q is right here. Where is it? There we go. Okay, I'm just going to call Q. Oh, where's my function? Right underneath here, I'm going to say Q. We taking the following for me for my SQL statement. Let's say st dot execute update, and what am I updating? That's going to be insert into high stocks the following. So let me do this. I'm going to say enter back here, and I will start by first of all going for, as a plus values, and the very first value that I want to enter, let me enter the following. Open up a bracket, enter apostrophe plus D1. Okay, add another plus sign. There should be a speech mark here, apostrophe speech mark, okay, and apostrophe there. So that's the very first value. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for D2. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here for D2. You have to be careful because of all of these apostrophe and speech mark, else you will end up with an error. So this one is going to be the D2. Now, comma, D3. Then we have D4 there. Okay, with the D4, let's enter an apostrophe, quote, press enter for the next value that will enter in there. And this time around, the next value is just going to be plus D5. Plus, let's bring it here, plus D5. So I'm going to get hold of all of these. Yeah. Let's copy that, paste that here, and change this to 5, 6, 7, 8. There, that's one successfully taken care of. Now copy again. This one is going to be 9, and so on. This will be 9. We have enough room here, so I can always add one more here though. Okay, yeah, let's 9 be here. That's a plus D9 plus quotes, comma. We need an apostrophe, one here and one there. Okay, so this is going to be D10, and so on until I get to D29, 10, 11, 13, and so on, guys. So I'm going to speed that up, and that's it, guys, all done. But let me just do one more thing. See here, I'm going to just use an if statement. Say if Q equals, let's say 1, then enter statement block, and inside that statement block I'm just going to grab a hold of this, dump it right there. Now the statement I want to enter, I can just say, let's say this, and we just make up our own story in there. Record added there. Else, so grab hold of all of these, paste. Else we can say error inserting record, something like that. Error inserting data or inserting record. There we go. I think that should take care of it, and that's it. So finally, all I just need to do here now, right underneath here, I'm also going to call my function right up there. Now the very first function, which is right here, this very one. Where is it? There we go. I'm going to call this very function. Copy that and come right down here. This is the very first function. The second one for resets. And for my data connection, all the variables that are assigned to the individual components there, right underneath here. Paste that function that was called and just change this to, get rid of all of these, and this will be lowercase. There we go. That's fine. Now this function that I've just created, yeah, I've already called it inside the total anyway. Okay, you must call your function inside the total wherever you want it to take effect. Okay guys, decision time. Let's try this out and just make sure it works as we want. Okay, let's click on run. Enter your data in there, and how many? 67. Okay, and here we want, let's enter our customer's name. Let's say it's Henry Moore. Henry Moore. This is out, something like that. An address, we can call that number 1, Sonny Anthony. There we go. Okay, any other setting? Okay, what about VAT? No VAT. Debit card. Visa. There. So all we then need to do now is just click on total. If I get a message, then that means it's, there we go. Look at that. Record added successfully. Okay, we just need to go in there. Let's go in there and check for the details of Henry Moore. And that is Henry right there. Henry Moore's out. Okay guys, so with that, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. But before then, let's go straight into our database. Let's see if we can get Henry Moore's details here inside the database. Where is it? There we go. Double click on that. So if it's saved on the database, the details of Henry Moore should appear on the database itself. Double click on that, and let's look for the name. There we go. I can see Henry here, and more south there. Okay, so with that guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. It's been a very long one, but you guys would have learned a lot. So with that, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. You all have a nice day now, and please do subscribe to my channel. There's a lot of benefit for those who are members. For your information, I'm trying to get up to 1 million subscribers, so with your help guys, we should be able to do that. You subscribing will be very much encouraging. So thank you, and you all have a nice day now, and bye for now. Bye guys.